Good evening, this is the Oscar Expert here with Brother Bro, and it's time to review The Wild Robot. This is the latest DreamWorks animated film from director Chris Sanders, who you may know as the director of How to Train Your Dragon, as well as Lilo and Stitch. And so this is like another really big moment in his career, I think.
The film is about a robot named Roz, whose programming is to help all creatures. She gets stranded on an island with only animals instead of humans, and she has to discover how to make herself useful here. And on the way, a little duckling who she saves imprints on her, and she finds herself becoming a mother, despite not really having any feelings.
If you couldn't tell by the trailer, this movie looks spectacular.
Yeah.
I feel like you're only going to really know that for sure when you see the movie. As far as mainstream animation goes and some of the more innovative styles that have been popping up in the surface, like, you know, that of Spider-Verse or TMNT, like this, I think, is an excellent way to go.
Yeah.
It's a crazy combination of hand-drawn and CG animation, a bit impressionistic too, with how they're doing the
lot of the backgrounds, the nature, the colors, the lighting. Like, it was gorgeous. Like, the entire movie, every frame, was just inundating your eyeballs. Like, this was an excellent film to watch in IMAX. I'm really glad I got to see it there. It's like the kind of film they're gonna show on like Best Buy 4K TVs to like show you how crisp and vibrant the colors are.
I also have to compliment how the direction played up the best aspects of the animation, because some of the camera movements and the depth in the frames was also really breathtaking, and the style felt very flexible in the way that 2D animation can be, and obviously, you know, carries the depth of 3D animation.
I think the film was also had really funny moments. There was some dark humor about how the animal world is very harsh and unforgiving. That was like kind of surprising to find in a very family-oriented film. Overall, you know, my feeling is that this made me feel very fuzzy. It was very cute, very heartwarming, and, you know, just like a big warm hug. Like, I was really happy with this movie. This got really great buzz out of TIFF. I mean, everybody I talked to really liked it. You, on the other hand, you're like a little lower. So what's going on there?
I have to recommend the movie first and foremost, but I did feel that the story for me was a bit forgettable. Don't get me wrong. It's cute as hell. It's a really good adventure film, but there's a level of engagement that I felt was missing from the movie. I just felt like a lot of the lessons in this movie boil down to being nice and everybody getting together and like smiling and being nice. Some of the takeaways can be generously interpreted as like, okay, it's about how like technology should be integrated into nature and love. And it's like, yes, but at the same time, when watching the movie, it's basically like, I want the robot to love the duck back, and I want the animals to be nice to each other. And I've seen some people be like, oh, it's about like a, you know, the animals forming like a socialist collective. And it's like, no, it's also about them learning. It's also about them like being nice to each other, and how you as an audience member want everybody to be nice to each other. I felt like everything was delivered very easy. Really no surprises in the kinds of messages that you find here.
I suppose I agree with you in the sense that you could read into a lot of the more like generic messages in the film, and you could add depth to it if you want. But I didn't necessarily take like a whole lot of depth out of it.
It's not even that I don't think that the depth is there.
Right.
It's that the way that I experience the film's ideas is so easy that it doesn't make it deep to me.
Someone said, oh, well, it has the same message as Night Bitch about motherhood. And they explained why that was. And I agree that it does have like a similar message if you really reduce it. But Night Bitch was like, it unpacked the shit out of that. Whereas this was like, you said it, but in a more basic way. It really depends how you say it, how you explore it. Like, I don't think the film is going that deep into its exploration, but sure, you can pull out a message.
I just like to feel that messages in films are surprising, or that characters are grappling with ideas in a way that I'm also grappling with. Like, this is also really basic. I can get this from watching The Kissing Booth or like reality TV, where like, I don't know what the character's gonna do, and I'm interested in the choices that they're gonna make.
Well, actually, I do disagree with you there that the film didn't have that going for it. Roz could have easily just been a robot that somehow learns to love, and it would be like really unclear how that happened, and, you know, maybe she realizes it really early and she just decides, I have to do the right thing and be a good person now. But Roz is a lot more stubborn than that. You know, it's not such an easy task for her to rewrite her programming and to discover love. So I actually thought the writing was really strong there, because I expected her to have a lot more of an easy time, and for there to be like a lot of, you know, projecting onto AI going on here, like a human writing AI with feelings. But I felt like it made sense how she got from point A to point B, and you could see that it was not easy for her, and she, nearly didn't get there, right?
Yeah, but the character's personal stakes weren't anything. Like, the character just looks at what is the most logical thing for me to do.
Yeah.
I feel like the
That's
stakes
true.
were really like, I want the animals to be able to, like, love this robot.
The stakes are that the people that love Roz won't have her forever.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
But the stakes were not whether or not Roz would be happy as a robot, as a character.
That makes so much sense because she's a robot.
I understand, and maybe that's just like one of my issues, like just with the movie overall, is that like this is a harder character for me to be invested in for that reason.
Really? I liked it.
Like
Like, it was so like charming in a way that you like the robot, you think that she's cute, but also there's just this disconnect that she doesn't really have with others.
I guess it's not a fault with the movie because it's just part of what it is, but just for me, I felt swept up in the film, but nothing was really sticking with me. That's just
That's
how I
fine.
would put it. I'll be, happy to be kind of alone on that. If everybody else enjoys the movie,
Yeah.
I'm very happy for you. So you probably will. What do you think about the score? Because I think the score is very good for the kind of score that it is, which is that it really pillows and supports every moment. It's very pretty. It matches the film's visuals, which themselves are very gorgeous. And in its best moments, it's just kind of soaring high. The type of score that I like is not necessarily the one that kind of feels like it is flowing with every single moment.
But that's also necessary for animated films. Like,
not all of them. What about like
it's like
Soul?
in the tradition of any kind of like slapstick animation, having like playing beat to beat is totally. It's just traditional and it makes a ton of sense.
That's
but I think
fine.
what you want out of an animated score is you want that. You also want themes that are memorable, motifs. Like, I love John Williams. I like that classic. Give me like the love theme. Give me the melody that connects the mother and the duck. Give me something that's about friendship. And the film, like, I think it goes part way there. Like, there is a memorable theme, but it's not like on the level of some of the greatest Pixar scores. It's not like John Williams level.
It's not
And
Thomas,
I
it's
actually
not
think
Thomas Newman stuff, and
it's not that hard to find this sort of thing. Like, I'm not asking for that much. All I'm asking for here, like, there's this theme that's like when everyone's flying and it's like ba-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na. And it's like very arpeggiated, and the whole orchestra is just firing at once and it's rattling you, and I think that works well. But if you just gave us like a little piano melody that connected the mother and the duck, and it just made it like a little more memorable, it would have been more powerful. I have high standards for scores, and this was a good score. I didn't think it was great for that reason. Like, you could have really made me cry if you had the score like totally right. It was close, but not quite. It also has songs. Like, I don't care about the songs really.
no, I don't
was
like.
like, all right.
I actually don't like
It
this.
was like, "Da-da-da, you're gonna fly, you're gonna have so much fun.
You
oh,
can
yeah.
fly. You can spread your wings and so like.
Yeah.
I don't like when
Inspiring.
inspirational pop music gets played in my movies.
Yeah.
I don't like that very much.
Yeah, and the songs were like
I'm with it.
uncomplicated too.
Right, they were really basic and clean stock music production.
Yeah, like pentatonic scale, all that stuff.
I'll give the movie a 6.5 out of 10.
All right, I'd give it a 8 out of 10.
The movie is getting some really strong buzz out of TIFF to the point where I went, oh god, what if it fucking wins People's Choice and then it
Yeah.
wins, it gets nominated for Best Picture? Like, I think that's not happening.
Yeah.
It could get score. I'll concede that it can get score because just people are loving that.
Yeah.
The songs, I guess it could, but again, I don't like the songs. I don't know how much. I don't know how much that taste is going
They
to
don't
reflect
feel
mine.
like the kind of song that gets nominated at the Oscars. I'll say that.
No. It's not like plucking on a guitar.
Maybe there's a score possibility here, but I also wouldn't predict that without a Best Picture.
I think this is the animated feature winner too.
Yeah, I do think
don't
that's,
that,
it's going to
you
beat
know.
Inside Out too.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
Have you ever been helped by a robot?